Hey everyone, John here from All Miniatures Grade Small, and today we're going to be taking an unboxing and first look at the Aeronautica Imperialis Thunderhawk gunship. Yes, we finally have a plastic Thunderhawk gunship. It's not for 40K, but it's for Aeronautica Imperialis. So, there you go, pretty cool box art. We still have the salamanders, continuing our theme from the two-player starter. On the back side, we see more, has a decal sheet, gives us a couple of other examples, or at least one other example. A nice white scars, painting guide down below. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what we get. Now this is a pricey model, I will say. It's only one model. For retail, I think $42 US. Obviously that will be different depending on what country you're from. We have the decal sheet. So, this one looks different because this one has the other chapters in it than the one that comes in the starter box. Interesting. So I won't have to go too far to make mine an ultramarine version. You have the instructions, which we'll take a look at in a minute. You have the sprues. We got two sprues. The flight stand there. Let's take a look at this sprue first. Some great detail there on the side of the fuselage, the wings. I don't know if those are landing gear or something else. And then this frame has the other half. You can see the engine nozzles there. So lots of cool stuff. All right. And obviously, like all our videos, hang tight, and towards the end we'll show you the model after I've built it. We don't just do a boring old unboxing. I do try to show you guys what it looks like built and give you my thoughts on the build process. So here we have the assembly. So it looks pretty straightforward. Always appreciate the instruction manuals from Games Workshop. They do a good job of showing us where everything goes. Looks like you get a choice of different weapons. All kinds of different doodads there on the bottom. Those do look like landing gear. Interestingly, it looks like it's got a spacer. I don't know if you can see that on the base to make it up a little bit higher since the plane is so big. And then you've got the stat card on the back. The Thunderhawk gunship runs 44 points and has quite a lot of weapons. A turbo laser destructor, twin las cannon, port and starboard heavy bolter turrets, port wing and starboard wing heavy bolters, and you can take up to 3 additional weapons at 2 points each. So you could take Hellstrike missiles, wing bombs. So you could take 3 Hellstrike missiles. Whew, that would be so much firepower coming out of this thing. So this guy's basically a monster. He only does ace maneuvers 1 through 4, so not obviously not the most maneuverable, but you wouldn't expect it. But with 8 structure points, it's going to be pretty beastly. I imagine if you put a Tech Marine in there, it's going to be hard to bring this guy down. All right. Well, let's go ahead and I will assemble him, and then we'll be back here and show you guys the model and talk about the build. Well, there you go. The model is complete. It took me maybe about an hour, a little bit less, to build this, and the typical Games Workshop model, it was kind of a joy to put together. The instructions were straightforward. There were no pieces that had me scratching my head. As long as you cleaned up the little nubs attaching the frame, the model goes together without really any gaps or anything. Looking at the photos of the Thunderhawk and seeing it before, it wasn't my favorite Space Marine design by a long shot, but now actually being able to physically hold it and look at it at different angles, the design has grown on me. I even liked the little kind of X-wing action that it has, which is kind of cool. But overall, really nice. So again, $42 retail, US dollars, is a pretty pricey model, but it is a big model. It is, let me take it off here, you know, it's pretty big. And then I grabbed here is a Xiphon Space Marine fighter next to it for scale. You can just see how massive this thing is. And then I grabbed some of the bigger flyers as well. Here is an Imperial Marauder, and you can kind of see how much longer it is, wider wingspan, and just overall beefier this is to this, which is quite impressive. And then here is that Orc big bomber. I forget its real name. And this one is closer in size, but it's still smaller. If I put them both here, you can see how much longer the Thunderhawk is. Wing-wise, they are about the same in width, but then you can see from the front what you're getting there. So this one's a little bit closer, but still, the Thunderhawk is by far the largest physical model we've had for Aeronautica Imperialis. Even looking at things like Knights from Adeptus Titanicus, because these are the same scale. Even though they're the same scale, we see how big this Thunderhawk is compared to this Reaver Titan. It's taller. Even its wingspan is taller. So once this is painted, I imagine I'll get enough friction in there so that these can hold their position without flopping down. If you wanted to, you can get their S-foils in attack position, which is pretty cool. But I'm looking forward to painting this up. It is rather expensive in points as well. We were looking at the sheet before at 44 points base. That could be a big chunk of your fleet right there. So I'm only going to get one. I'm not going to get more. The only other construction option was to have the landing gear down. I glued them in place because I'm going to be playing the flying game, but if you wanted to use this as, you know, an objective or something in Adeptus Titanicus, you might want to have that landing gear down. Or if you're doing ground attack missions, you have to kind of choose between one or the other. I went with just landing gear up. It'd be easier to paint, and I think it looks pretty cool. So there you go. That's the Thunderhawk gunship for Aeronautica Imperialis. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do consider giving us a like and subscribe. I'm going to go ahead and put a link to our playlist for our other Aeronautica Imperialis coverage down in the video description below. So if you like Aeronautica Imperialis and would like us to see more, please check out what we've already produced. Let me know down in the comments you want to see more, and we'll see about trying to get that done. Also, please consider clicking that bell to receive notification when we release new content. As always, thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.